We're back, YouTubes. Here we are in the 8th mission. This time it's just going to be likely one mission for one part. None of this first 1 through 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7 action. This one's a little bit more extensive. You're going to see why. So you start off once again with a very meager group of units. You're going to be mixed up with rocket launchers and minigunners. Minigunners are obviously going to be very good against their infantry. Rocket soldiers are going to be very good against this medium tank you're going to come across. So you're on this northern little chunk of land. You don't really know if it's an island or what it is. It's weird. You're in Zaire, so I'm guessing it's just disconnected by a little river that you can't get across. So you're going to have to take out all the units for there to be a transport helicopter triggered in for your rescue. You head over to the east a little bit right here, and you'll find a small little base, and you have to be smart about this. Considering you're going to have to capture a GDI base, that means you're going to need an engineer. So if you get an engineer, one way you can is just sell that con yard. No matter what, that first building you should sell as a con yard. Keeping that power plant will allow you to continue to make engineers from that hand of NOD, so you can pump out some engineers. I would only just do one right now. Maybe get some more minigunners at full strength. Put them into this helicopter. You're going to have to be very quick with this transport helicopter when you send it across the river, though, because within this base there's about 7 or 8 GDI units, infantry units, perusing the area. They will immediately respond to the arrival of your transport helicopter. Get in your way, try to blow it up, shoot it down, whatever it may be. There's no rocket soldiers, so once you land, you're probably going to have to move again real quick, try to get out of their way. Unfortunately, you can't really land in the shaded areas around buildings. It has to be completely vacant for the transport helicopter to allow you to plop it down. So there is a rocket soldier a little bit further away. Immediately send in your engineer either to get that Tiberium refinery or the con yard. Doesn't really matter. I like doing the Tiberium refinery if I have the chance, if that harvester is in the refinery. If you don't have that option, it's going to be a lot more funds for you because you're going to produce another engineer, have to capture the con yard, and then make a refinery to even get going. So, alright, beautiful. They're going to have a number of units still around the area. Grenadiers, minigunners. That's kind of how this mission goes. Minigunners, rocket soldiers. I freaking love the transport helicopter. It's one of my favorite units in the game. Obviously, you can't create it. Isn't that ironic? Some of my favorite units in the game you can't really create. Commandos. Obviously. Maybe one of the greatest units in the Command & Conquer universe. Transport helicopter. Gunboat, not a huge fan of, but Apache helicopters I think are pretty boss. You can't produce those, so things are going to slow down slightly right now, but you're not going to be out of the water yet. A-10 airstrikes do apply in this mission. You're going to be dealing with a number of them from GDI. They'll send in warthogs at you, so make sure you do have units across the river here at all times. That will allow you to take those strikes. And that is a good sign if you're needing to build some silos. I'd leave this power plant alone for right now. If you think about it, it's more cost effective for you to build a power plant straight up than to build an engineer and capture one. So if you want to put one down and make one yourself, you can. Since power plants serve no unit producing function, they can be placed north of your base across the river. I would do the same for a building like a con yard. And once you start getting some more units either across the river, see right there, A-10 airstrike. If you have technician, that's great. Minigunner will work as well. Even turrets will when you get the chance to make turrets. Once again, sandbags don't work. They do not register for the computer. And another quirky thing is, since those units are across the river, even land units will pursue them. It's a little cheap, but it is the nature of the game and how the AI is structured. So you can have units back there, and they will send in some medium tanks, some infantry, and they'll just sit at the edge of the river, sipping on tea, watching the steamboats go by down the Mississippi, and let you enjoy your lattes across the river as well. There's going to be no skirmishing going on today. So once again, you can put some Tiberium silos up there. I always mix the two up. Comm center is relatively important, but if you're strategic and you're quick early on and you really focus on getting those funds up and capturing that harvester as it's plopping some Tiberium into the refinery, you can do well. I would recommend getting a guard tower up at some point as well. Maybe some rocket soldiers to reinforce yourself against some medium tanks. Run over some units if you can. Make sure to repair your guard towers immediately. They're already hitting that refinery hard. And be careful. If you forget to have units in the north, your refinery will get hit. You don't repair that sucker, that's going to get destroyed eventually. As will any building. So that took a decent amount of money out of our coffers right here. Just checking something real quick. You can continue to build, put down a sandbag barrier, extend it to the west, extend it to the south. Checking my notes here real quick. Send them to the south, send them to the west, but it's more important to send your sandbag barriers to the west. There's two different routes to get to their base. The reason for that is it'll cut off their funds. They don't send their harvester really to the east to collect. It's more towards the north, so if you cut that off, they really, their gathering is stunted essentially, so you don't have to worry about them. So we will get going with that soon, and obviously once you build sandbag barriers, you can put other structures down, whether it's power plants, barracks, have a little secondary base action going on. Yeah, run away. We don't want you here. We don't want you here. So I'm doing some mass shooting right now. Actually, I didn't like the name mass shooting. Excuse me, especially in today's situation. Do not like that. Some mass recordings of games right now. Trying to pump these out as quick as possible, get through the Tiberian Dawn walkthrough, and move on to Age of Empires, the Forgotten Empires, African Kingdoms. I know you guys want that Red Alert 2 replay as well. I'm trying to take suggestions as to where you want that to fit in. I'm trying to get a number of games pre-recorded, so when I head off to grad school and all those things, I got a lot cached up. But I'm going to bump up and try to get a new computer when I do that as well, a desktop that I can use. So at that point, I'll be better suited. I'll be better suited to have more high-powered games recorded. Exhibit A, right there. Medium tanks and Humvees picking their noses along the riverbank because you got units north. Remember that trigger. I did not know that trigger until trial and error as the game went on. And I believe Weapons Factory, if you build that, will trigger scouting of Humvees. There's a big loop essentially in this, that it's like a track, I suppose, that vehicles can travel along. So if they're traveling along that path, they will get in the way and sometimes shoot at your harvesters. So I love the 6 silver Humvee though. And once again, freaking gunboats, I'm getting sick of them. Run by any water, and they have 2 orcas in this mission. I would send your Humvee, do some exploring preliminarily, get a glimpse at their base. There are 2 routes, as I said, but building that weapons factory, I believe, is a trigger for 2 Humvees to be sent around along that circular track that runs throughout the base, or the mission scenario map. I can't even speak right now. So as soon as you get one up, you can get another one up very cheap. Obviously, not quick as the NOD buggy, but it'll do the trick here. A little bit more armor. Send it down and throw out all the caverns. I haven't even memorized which leads to which, so you can get kind of caught up in here sometimes. There's going to be Humvees that you're going to run into. You can see what I was talking about. Those orcas will pursue you once you reach a certain radius or a certain perimeter area located next to their base, near their base, so watch out for that. And you really won't get hit by any of the units that are hanging out waiting to go north to take out your units. Next thing, once you get that scouted out, obviously you don't know where you're going with your sandbags if you don't have it scouted out, so that's kind of point A, point B, and point C. Point C is blocking them off. Extend your sandbag barrier, once again, greatest strategy in Tiberian Dawn. Extend your sandbag barrier west. You can lead it all the way through the caverns that are going to be showing up for you. Block off their base. That'll shut off their funds, and then you can do your own engineer rush, and we're going to do an engineer bum rush, and it's just kind of about being sneaky and quick here. Once you get your funds settled early, if you start turtling and kind of go the opposite way, try to get all your technologies up and whatnot, not that there are as many in Tiberian Dawn, it functions a lot different than what you see in Age of Empires, clearly. Once you get that taken care of, you can focus on your own building of engineers. We're getting ready for that engineer bum rush.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Yeah, but I'm just working right now. Get the heck off of me. Working right now, working some retail, just in between working or going to undergrad into my grad assistantship in August, and so I'm working at Lid's locker room. I own 61 hats, so I figured it would be a decent, I know relatively a little bit about purchasing hats. It's not Lid straight up the store, so we're working you're working retail and selling other products like clothing, socks, and novelty items and jerseys. And I've never worked retail before. Can't say it's that exciting. Kind of looking forward to that being done. Just doing it for a couple extra bucks so I can have some more spending money. Parents are taking care of me this summer, living at home, getting that rent, free food, baby. Free gym membership. Gotta buy my my own games and technology though. Working this retail job right now. I'm get distracted there for a second. Had to go away from the recording. But back at it now. Building up that sandbag barrier, and as I said, working retail and just recording videos right now and working out. So I'm trying to get some mass recordings done. I had to stay home. We have a beach house about 5 hours away from where I live that we own with my parents and my sister, her daughter. My other sister does not live nearby at all anymore. She's not going, but I'm left at home all alone. King in his mansion, so you can get into their base fairly easily, capture the structures, start plopping down your own structures. You're going to start mass producing barracks. The reason for that is if you take out the power plants, which is your first priority, you can shut down their advanced guard towers and then pretty much own this base. You have enough funds where you can start pumping out more units, more engineers, more minigunners, more rocket soldiers, more grenadiers, whatever the frick you want to make. Alright? You can't make flamethrowers at these barracks, okay? Remember that. Freaking warbling right here. Make sure you at least have some structure in here. Maybe if you get this one destroyed, you can send more engineers back in here, which will probably be the case for me. And that probably should set off their advanced guard towers. Yes, it does. But I would still go for that other power plant next, just because you want to be sure about it. You don't want another guard tower lingering around, shooting at your structures, because they will take out your structures in a freaking blink of an eye. Anything could change in the blink of an eye. I would sell that comm center once you get it captured, get some more funds out of the way. Capture a weapons factory, you'll be set too. They'll shut off their unit producers, and all they have left are those barracks and those orcas. You want to be careful though. You don't want to get lulled into the security of thinking, oh, I got this in the bag. Throughout this mission, they have been producing units. They just haven't been attacking you because they're fixated on the ones up north, which reminds me to make sure to have units up north that those warthogs are going after. It's a little bit risky going against the guard tower, but if you're pretty confident their power is going to be shut off for sure, it should be with all those Tiberian silos that they have. You can get freaking rampaged by their structures late in the game if you get comfortable and you're like, oh, we're done. They will send all those units that are waiting there at your base, and if you don't have any other units, you're going up the river without a paddle, okay? So make sure slowly but surely, if you do have some unit or some expendable funds, that you make some medium tanks along the way. Keep pumping some of those guys out.
Construction complete.
Moving out.
And you don't really have to worry about doing engineer rush anymore.
Acknowledge.
I simply do that. You can make a barracks up there as well if you want to make another one, if you have still some structures. I'm just barricading these guys in here so it's a little bit easier afterwards for me to take them out. So barricade them in, slowly but surely build some medium tanks. That's going to be your tank of choice. They look dope in the silver, so do the Humvees.
Acknowledged.
Straight up dope. Candy coated.
Building.
Candy coated on chrome.
Construction complete.
Moving out. Acknowledged.
Candy coated on chrome.
Building.
On chrome.
Construction
On
complete.
Not
Construction
Google
complete.
Chrome, not the
Construction
browser,
complete.
but ice cream paint
Vehicle
job.
reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Ice cream paint job. Alright, so I got no structures in here, and if you're wondering about that little box in the base, the GDI base, the base of GDI, you will be able to get a
Construction
nuclear
complete.
detonator.
Primary building selected. Building.
Essentially, there's like
Unit
4
ready.
pieces to
Building.
it that are in different missions in the campaign.
Affirmative.
I don't know if I've located all of them. I believe it enables you to use a nuclear
Building.
missile or something like that later on. I think it is in the
Construction complete.
final mission. I
Unit
can't
ready.
remember, exactly. Obviously, if you make the Temple of Nod, it's going to trigger an advanced comm center attack by GDI and ion cannon. So, to each their own. If you want to be messing around with super weapons and getting all war games Matthew Broderick on people.
Construction complete.
So it's pretty peaceable times right now. Obviously, we have no structures in their base, so I would send a APC down there. It's so nice to have those APCs back.
Yes, sir.
And either go for a harvest, their Tiberium refinery, go for those orcas, those helipads, whatever they may be. You can sell them off. But what's going to be great is when you capture all those Tiberium silos,
Moving out.
get a whole jolt of funds.
Affirmative.
Watch out for some of those units down there. Humvees obviously can't run over units. APCs can, and they are able to do
Unit
that.
lost.
Looks like we got
Acknowledged.
all of them.
GDI
Beautiful.
Reporting. Moving out.
GDI
Plop that
building
down.
captured.
Get away, get away, get away now. Take it away, get away, get away now. Gunboat's gonna be firing at your structures.
Low power.
Those guard towers, when they are firing non-stop, can really get rattling in your ear. Really get really obnoxious.
Roger.
Unit lost. Building.
Hopefully no Canadian football is getting picked up in the background. Yes, Canadian football is on in the other room. Looks like ESPN has signed an agreement with Canadian football to air it on Friday nights, which is very interesting. And I'm recording this on Canada Day, July 1st.
Unit ready.
So it is going to go up my freaking guard tower. That's great.
GDI building captured.
Next priority, though, will be to take out the guard towers. You take out those guard towers, you're going to be able to utilize engineers,
Building.
get in there, capture some Tiberium for yourself, which will
Construction
be
complete.
pretty useful.
Primary building selected. Building. Building.
Pump it up.
Building.
Pipe it up.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost.
I don't know. Mainstream rap's kind of getting freaking weird nowadays.
Unit lost.
People can say whatever they want, slur their words however they so please. Prime example is,
Affirmative.
what's his name?
Building.
Rich Omi Kwan. For example.
Building.
Right.
Unit
Engineers
ready.
on flat
Building.
flat.
Construction
Like
complete.
Drake, what are you doing, man?
Unit
Stealing from
ready.
Too Short?
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Roger.
Plop them in there. Get all kinds of money. Making all kinds of gains financially right now.
Unit
So
lost.
their base is freaking ransacked, if there's a definition of ransacked.
GDI building
You can
captured.
really bolster your
Building.
funds at this point
Unit ready.
and not get shot by gunboats.
Got it.
Pump out some medium tanks as well. Get ready for that final assault. Get rid of that chain link fence so you can get that detonator as well. It is not a money
Building.
crate, by the way.
GDI building captured.
Technicians being all nerdy.
Moving out.
Can't even take out a chain link fence.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm doing this all with no comm center.
Sir.
Look, ma, no comm center.
Construction complete.
I can win a
GDI
mission
building
with no comm center. No
Building.
comm center.
Affirmative.
That was my jam about 6 years ago,
Construction
back when I was
complete.
playing Red Alert 2 on YouTube's. So we're pretty much through with this one. Save, just need a few more minutes. Medium tanks can do a number on these guys.
Unit
Do a number?
lost. Unit lost.
Yes, affirmative.
Look it up. Aquatine Force.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Building.
Enjoy the medium tank silver paint job for now.
Moving out.
it's going to disappear until your options in Red Alert 1 for playing some skirmish mode.
Vehicle reporting on.
Skirmish mode is not yet readily available to us Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn players, and at this time this game was made I was 2, so I don't think I was worried about that. I was more so worried about eating baby food, getting naps, and occasionally playing with my Fisher-Price basketball hoop.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Getting all set, getting all set. Once you feel comfortable and ready, you've pretty much taken out their base and everything in it, maybe those gunboats, you can start perusing through the caverns and the valleys and the canyons and take out the remaining medium tanks, which are potentially still there. Gunboats about down.
Yes, sir.
And then take out those units right by the river as well. There's quite a few of them. I have, sincerely, this is the truth, I have lost missions. Take out an Orca if there's any left too. I've lost missions or times playing this game, this particular mission, because I just relied on engineers. I didn't have any funds. I didn't do it smart economically, and had no had no armored units remaining to field a defense against their units that they already had built. And it's just a total turn of events. So do watch out for those things, okay?
Building.
And if you want to start putting a guard tower down, take out some of those units. Be my guest, I'll make it a little bit easier for you when you're sending in your armored units, because you're really only great at treading over infantry. Guard towers, can't live with them, can't live without them. I can't freaking believe their noise that they make. Oh man, could have done a better job with that obnoxious noise. At least the pillbox is a little bit more manageable. It's more same with the sentry gun. And guard towers blowing up your ears. Blowing up my eardrums in here. You're gonna be selling all kinds of sandbags. Sorry, GDI. The coastal vacation is gone. All is over. NOD is going to dominate Zaire. The one world order of NOD, unity, peace, and what's the other one? Unity, peace, and just Brotherhood? Wouldn't that be unity? That's a little bit different, more specific. Anyways, we're commencing.
Yes, sir.
And achieving those goals. Alright, so at this point it's just about a search and destroy mission. Maybe a harvester hanging around, maybe a medium tank hanging around. Crazy dog barking outside right now. 10:30 here at night. Dogs are riled up. Friday nights. Got them dogs all crunk. Shroud that looked like penis head. Success. I measure my success in this mission by if I was able to maintain the health of my Chinook helicopter, my transport helicopter, which I did. So I deem it a success on the day.
Unit reporting. Roger.
Where art thou, GDI units? Oh brother, where art thou?
Waiting orders. Okay. Yes, sir.
Anybody on the radar? Any NOD harvesters? Any medium tanks? We can say hello to my little friend too.
Moving out. Yes, moving out. Moving out.
They're just hiding out. And like I said before, those GDI colors really blend into this African landscape. That's very Moose Castle. What are you thinking of this game? Putting me against these GDI guys, blended in like natural camouflage in every mission, giving them the upper hand. I know you like GDI more. Oh, there you are. I caught the very back end of you, and we're gonna blow you freaking up to Kingdom Come. It's like 2 units left, and
Yes, sir.
your technician's gonna fire away with that deranged pistol and do some crazy damage, most likely. Get some funds if you want.
Unit
Sell
lost.
some more structures.
New construction options. New
Peacing
construction
out with a
options.
mission accomplished, yo. We'll be watching the cutscene for the next mission. Mission number 9 is it. We're going to be heading to Egypt. Another difficult one, but Keep him coming! Cue ball. Keep him coming, Commando, who we're going to run into next. A little bit later than the 6th mission, we get to see Tiberian Dawn's greatest unit, the Commando, GDI campaign. Or the Chem Warrior, which is pretty cool as well, the Chem Warrior, which we could see in the Covert Ops. So you can see right there, Egypt is held by our GDI. We're going to try to reverse that now. Headed to cutscene. Peace.
Our African campaign is going well, but our Egyptian fortifications have been weakened by GDI attacks from the Nile. One of our bases is under fire, and I need you to reinforce and rebuild. Remove the GDI presence from this region once and for all. Towards that end, we have developed a new weapon you may find useful. It's your move.